Spermophilus is a genus of ground squirrels in the family Sciuridae. The majority of ground squirrel species, over 40 in total, are usually placed in this genus. However, Spermophilus in the broad sense has been found to be paraphyletic to the certainly distinct prairie dogs, marmots, and antelope squirrels. So it has been split into several genera by Kristofer Helgen and colleagues. Some Eurasian species are sometimes called susliks. This name comes from Russian suslik. In some languages a derivative of the name is in common usage, for example susliks in Polish. The scientific name of this genus means seed lovers. Ground squirrels may carry fleas that transmit diseases to humans, and have been destructive in tunneling underneath human habitation. Though capable of climbing, most species of ground squirrel live in open, treeless habitats. A generic revision was undertaken in 2007 by means of phylogenetic analyses using the mitochondrial gene cytochrome B. This resulted in the splitting of Spermophilus into 8 genera, which with the prairie dogs, marmots, and antelope squirrels are each given as numbered clades. The exact relations between the clades are slightly unclear. Among these, 11 exclusively Palearctic species are attained as the genus Spermophilus sensu stricto. Clade 1, Notocytulus, the tropical ground squirrels. Tropical ground squirrel, Notocytulus adacetus. Ring-tailed ground squirrel, Notocytulus annulatus. Clade 2, Amospermophilus, the antelope squirrels. See antelope squirrel. Clade 3, Otospermophilus, the rock squirrels. Rock squirrel, Otospermophilus variegatus. California ground squirrel, Otospermophilus beachy. Baja California rock squirrel, Otospermophilus atricopilus. Clade 4, Calospermophilus, the golden-mantled ground squirrels. Golden-mantled ground squirrel, Calospermophilus lateralis. Sierra Madre ground squirrel, Calospermophilus madrensis. Cascade golden-mantled ground squirrel, Calospermophilus saturatus. Clade 5, Xerospermophilus, the pygmy ground squirrels. Mojave ground squirrel, Xerospermophilus mojavensis. Round-tailed ground squirrel, Xerospermophilus pteryticordus. Spotted ground squirrel, Xerospermophilus spilosoma. Parrot ground squirrel, Xerospermophilus paratensis. Clade 6, Siamese, the prairie dogs. See prairie dog. Clade 7, Poliocytulus. Franklin's ground squirrel, Poliocytulus franklini. Clade 8, Ictydames, little ground squirrels. 13-lined ground squirrel, Ictydames tridocemlineatus. Mexican ground squirrel, Ictydames mexicanus. Ictydames parvidens. Clade 9, Marmota, the marmots. See marmot. Clade 10, Eurasian whole Arctic ground squirrels. Long-tailed ground squirrel, Eurasian undulatus. Interground squirrel, Eurasian armatus. Belding's ground squirrel, Eurasian beldingi. Idaho ground squirrel, Eurasian brownius. Merriam's ground squirrel, Eurasian canis. Colombian ground squirrel, Eurasian columbianus. Wyoming ground squirrel, Eurasian elegans. Paiute ground squirrel, Eurasian mollus. Arctic ground squirrel, Eurasian prairie. Townsend's ground squirrel, Eurasian townsend. Washington ground squirrel, Eurasian washingtoni. Richardson's ground squirrel, Eurasian richardsoni. Clade 11, Spermophilus sensu stricto, Old World ground squirrels. European ground squirrel, Spermophilus cytulus. Alaskan ground squirrel, Spermophilus alashanicus. Dorian ground squirrel, Spermophilus doricus. Red-cheeked ground squirrel, Spermophilus erythrogenes. Yellow ground squirrel, Spermophilus fulvus. Russet ground squirrel, Spermophilus major. Little ground squirrel, Spermophilus pygmaeus. Spermophilus relictus. Speckled ground squirrel, Spermophilus suslikus. Taurus ground squirrel, Spermophilus taurensis. Asia Minor ground squirrel, Spermophilus xanthoprimnus. Spermophilus palladicada. Spermophilus ralli. Spermophilus brevicada.